Hey everybody, my name is John Graves. Welcome to ArtistWorks Live. I'm going to be talking with DJ Qbert today, turntable mad scientist and online Skratch instructor here at ArtistWorks. We're going to be taking questions from you, the audience, so please get those questions ready. Feel free to start sending them in as soon as possible. Include your student name with your question. You might win a little something at the end of the show here. All right, let me introduce the guest. He's been teaching here at ArtistWorks since May of 2009 and has taught thousands of students in that time. DJ Qbert, welcome, sir. How are you?
Very good, very good. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Thanks for joining us today. Where are you joining us from?
I'm here at Thud Rumble headquarters, right by the SFO airport.
So San Mateo-ish?
Yes. Yeah, and you guys fly out here, come visit us.
All right. Cool. So quick note to the audience. Let me just again say today's questions are just coming from you guys. So although time will only permit me to get to a small amount of these, just please start sending them in now, and we can start and we'll get you guys qualified to win a little something at the end of the conversation if you include your name with that. While those questions start rolling in, Qbert, maybe you can do a little freestyle for us and get some music in our ears, get us ready to go.
Let me load something up real quick then.
Cool.
How's that sound? Can you hear it?
Sounds good.
All right. How long do you want me to keep going?
That's good. It's good.
Oh, all right. My bad. I could have kept going for
No, that was great. Thanks, man. Thank you so much. So we got plenty of people joining the conversation now. Lots of questions are rolling in. First, the interesting thing about this conversation is, so it's not just Skratch students that have kind of access to this. It's ArtistWorks students of any school. So we might have some jazz people joining us, some drummers, even some bluegrass guys. I know it's a long story to tell, but if you want to maybe just condense it down a little bit, and for anyone who might not know, just get into like the evolution of Skratch a little bit, how you got involved, when you got involved, and kind of like how you've seen it change over the years.
Well, it started when I was trying to get into breakdancing when I was a kid, and the music we were listening to had some little scratching in it, and I was like, damn, that's a weird musical instrument. And I discovered that it's from turntables, and you can pretty much turn any sound into a musical bunch of notes. And so, you know, you have the power of moving it forward and backward and playing with its time and its pitch, and, you know, it's just the weirdest instrument. I don't know any other instrument that's weirder than this. It's as funky and crazy, and it's so futuristic that it has like a lot of potential that it's not even seen yet, and you can do so much that hasn't been heard. So I don't know. It's just kind of just learning about it, and then I started studying jazz musicians and all other kind of music, Indian classical and everything else. And then I was like, oh, you can incorporate all those things into the turntables, and then there's like mathematics that go into it and spiritual stuff, and it's a combination of all kind of things. But I'm still a student, you know.
Yeah, oh, that's great. That's an awesome answer. Yeah, I went down to your house actually years ago now, and we recorded some lessons to add to the site, and it was all Skratch theory stuff. And I just, you know, since I'm new to the genre, I guess, and have a lot to learn, I was just surprised at how theory-based, scientific, you know, all the different Skratch techniques are, and you know, how deep into the beat you guys get and whatnot. And there's some really cool, really interesting stuff, how deep and you guys break it down, and how to notate it. I mean, it's all so new in the overall evolution of music. You know, it's all still very new, like you said.
Yeah, definitely.
So let me get to some of these questions here. Let's see. So Joel Garcia asks, since scratching is freeform like jazz, do you ever collaborate with jazz musicians?
Yeah, absolutely. I just did a show a couple days ago with a couple bands. Like a couple bands. I didn't know the names of all the bands, but they just said, hey, let's get all the guys on stage and have a jam session. And, you know, we just all groove together, you know, got a beat going. You start playing, you know, it's like I said earlier, it's all mathematics. Everyone's just in that time, you know, of whatever that rhythm is, and we all just groove together. It's just, you know, having fun. So yeah, that's a normal thing. It's a musical instrument, so it can blend in with anything.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Would you, same student, would you ever consider composing a soundtrack or score for a movie?
Yes, I did a movie called Wave Twisters in 2003. Go check that out. It's an animated graffiti movie with every song is a chapter in the film.
Yeah, I have the DVD.
Oh, thanks.
Good stuff.
Cool.
Definitely like nothing else I've ever seen before. All right, so Z Sonic asks, how do you organize and schedule your practice sessions?
Well, you know, I've learned in nature that you have your ups and downs. Like one day you'll be like feeling it, just having fun, and practicing becomes more of just playing, you know. And then another day where you're like, you know, it's kind of not feeling it. And so I'll work on technique that day. I'll just do drills and figure out some techniques and do like kind of like just kind of more like sharpening of my skills. And then I'll know the next day that I'll be feeling it. So it's kind of like nature, you know, ups and downs and stuff. And that's kind of how I take each day.
That's cool. Do you, after all these years of doing it, do you still kind of notice yourself progressing and notice yourself getting better day by day or week by week, or do you find yourself plateauing ever, just kind of maintaining what you already have?
Yeah. If I don't practice it, it all goes downhill from there. But if I keep practicing it and staying on my regimen, then it gets better. So yeah. It's just how it is, you know. Like look at a boxer. You know, the more they train, or you know, and they do their thing, they get better. If they don't train, you know, they suck. Yeah.
And do you get into that with some of your students at all through video exchanges? Do you get a lot of questions about your practice regimen, and do you have something that you kind of recommend for them so that they don't, you know, end up wasting their time thinking they're practicing, but they're really working on stuff that's not going to get them to that next level?
I always teach the students. There's like there's basic, like there's a million zillion scratches, but you know the basic, if you get to the root of it, is just to get the stabs, to get the cleanliness going, make it swing, you know, some basic things, and you know, make it connect to your mouth to your hands. So you're just speaking it like you're say, you know, in jazz they say it before you play it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a kind of just, you say it, you know, like you're MCing up there. You know, it's all like scatting.
Right.
So, you know, and if you can get those rhymes out like you're an MC, then you know you're doing the right thing.
Interesting. That's cool. Same student. What do you think about when you scratch? Alternatively, how do you get into the flow and not think when you scratch?
Well, that comes with practice and confidence. And the more you practice, obviously a second ago I just kind of like woke up and I'm just kind of like having fun. But you know, for me it takes a while. I have to get warmed up. Maybe like it's like meditation. You know, so like I don't know if you guys meditate, but for me, when I meditate, I close my eyes. It takes like a good 20 minutes for my mind to clear. And same with scratch. If I'm scratching and scratching, after 20 minutes, like there goes the zone right there, and I can just flow, you know. And so that's how it is for me. I have to take that time. And then also, you know, just when I scratch, I'm kind of like there's an emotional state of being like happy, or you know, just feeling. I know, because scratching makes me happy. So when I'm happy, it comes out easier, you know. And that again comes with confidence. The more you practice, the more you can be happy. Like, oh, this is easy, you know. And then it comes out easier. And then there's a lot of techniques. There's this book called I think it's called The Book of Secrets by Osho, O-S-H-O, and it's all about meditation. And there's 1,000 techniques of how to get into the zone. So that's a good book. If you want to know how to get in the zone, check out that book. There's one technique I'll show you right now where you close your eyes to get in the zone, but don't close them all the way. Just let your eyelids barely touch each other, and then you kind of get that little bit of a happy high, and you're in the zone right there. Like instead of waiting for 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Barely let your eyelids touch. You can feel the little you know, high in your body as you're.
What's the remind me?
You feel it?
It's The Book of Secrets.
Yes, it's called The Book of Secrets by O-S-H-O, Osho.
And is that like beginner level, like someone who knows nothing about meditation or anything, they can just pick that up and get started?
Yeah, that's beginner to advanced all in one book. It's amazing.
Cool. That's great. Let's see. DJ Subherb says, being that you meet big stars regularly, do you ever get starstruck? Have any of your idols ever been starstruck when they met you?
I don't know when they met me or anything, but yeah, man, you know, like if I see like, you know, like when I first saw Biz Markie, I was a big fan of Biz Markie because he's so funny. Like, Biz Markie, damn, he's so funny and cool. And yeah, everybody, there's like, you know, like, you know, I'm a DJ, so when I first saw Jazzy Jeff, like, oh, I told him about when I was a kid, I had a little autograph of him that said, yo, Qbert, I'll see you at the top. But I wrote it and I put it in front of my church. Cash Money, everybody, you know. And then it was strange because when I met Redman, I was like, oh, what's up, Redman? And he was like, yo, Q, man, I'm a big fan. I was like, what?
Wow.
So that can happen, but you know, he could have just been joking around. I don't know.
That's awesome. Wow, that's great.
Because the Redman is a DJ. He started DJing before he was an MC, so maybe.
Are you still touring a lot and doing lots of festivals and playing with lots of other people like that, or?
Yeah, we have I have a show in a couple of days with I don't know if you heard my group, Dr. Octagon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Dan the Ottoman. That's gonna be at this big festival in LA, or Long Beach rather. It's on my Instagram.
Okay.
And then there's we have of course my group Invisible Skratch Bagels with Shortcut and D Styles. And once in a while me and Mixmaster Mike play out Channel Zekdar, and then I do my own shows, and you know. So.
Do you have anything local coming up?
I just did a local thing here in Oakland. Is the one I was saying I was playing with some bands at the end with Butterscotch, and I think there's a guy in a band called Fish.
Uh-huh.
And I think that would be the last local thing. Then I go off to wherever. I think I do something at the Smithsonian Institute. I don't even know what city is the Smithsonian Institute in. I don't even know where that is.
Is anybody in the room with you? I think the Smithsonian's in Washington, D.C., right?
There you go.
Okay.
Go to Washington, D.C.
All right.
Never mind.
That's great. Okay, so let's keep going through these because they're just pouring in. Let's see. This is an interesting one and a little bit of a twist. What has teaching taught you?
It's to be a student. I'm in there like, hey, like anybody, definitely throw some scratches out there and show us. And a lot of students are, hey, check out this new scratch. Check out this new scratch. Look at this new technique. What about doing it like this? Oh, hell yeah. I'm like, I've learned even more by being. I become the biggest student now. I'm like, holy crap! Look at all this stuff you can learn in the school. So that's awesome. I'm so glad the QSU thing is here in ArtistWorks. I learn. Sometimes I'll go in the piano teacher's class. So what's a period piano? My girl will go in there and check her out, and she'll learn things. And my girl is also a classical pianist, so she'll teach me a gang of stuff too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. Kind of like I'll go in. One of the drummers, I forgot the drummer's guy. I used to go in there and ask about rhythms and stuff, and they told me to get a book of rudiments.
Oh, okay.
So that's really dope.
Cool.
So I translate rudiments like drums are like right, left, shit like
a paradiddle.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. So I learned a paradiddle from like drummers and stuff. So you can do that. Said it like forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, backward.
Right.
That would be.
Do you want to demonstrate something like that real quick, just so people can?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like let's see. See, forward, backward, forward, backward, backward. So that would be a paradiddle, right? Let's see if I can do it.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah,
that's cool. That's very cool. All right. So let's see here. I want to keep working my way through some of these. Have you ever? I wanted to ask. Have you ever experimented with running your turntable through some like effects pedals, like guitar effects pedals or something, like a distortion or a delay or something like that? I mean, I'm sure you have a delay on your mixer, I guess, huh?
The first Skratch song I ever made was in 1996, and it's called "The Invasion of the Octopus People." And that you could hear me doing a wah-wah pedal in there.
Oh, nice! Oh, that's very cool. Right
so,
on.
1996, I've been using effects and all kind of stuff since, I guess now.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's cool. Wow. That's awesome. Who are some of your favorite musicians?
I grew up listening to like Hendrix, a lot of Miles Davis. I used to read books about Miles Davis and why he would use sound, silence in the sounds, and John Coltrane. I used to love Pee Wee Russell and Benny Goodman, the clarinetist. I would listen to those things all day, especially Louis Armstrong. I was a big Louis Armstrong fan. I still am. All the weird rhythms that he has, and
right, so
advanced, and it's crazy. Everybody. I think Ravi Shankar doing the Indian classical. Who's this? Zakir Hussain. I was starstruck when I met him. I was like, holy. I was surprised that he wanted me to even scratch on his stuff. And I was like, God damn.
When did you meet him?
This was in San Francisco when he used to, I think he used to live here in San Francisco, and he got a school out here as well. And he was playing tablas, and I'm like, damn, I want to scratch like the way he plays tablas.
Yeah. Anybody modern that's like really coming up or doing anything right now that sticks out to you, DJ or musician in another genre?
I mean, I'm really. I think there's a lot of scratchers out there that I look up to, but if you're talking about actual like non-DJs, it's hard to say because I don't even really know. I'm pretty much checking out a lot of the old school guys, and
that's cool.
Some jazz musicians. I'll go to there used to be a club over here called Yoshi's, and I would go there just to check out the jazz musicians. But I forgot the names, but I would listen and I would take it in, but I would forget their name and stuff.
And who are some of the DJs that you're checking out, like the kind of up and coming guys.
All the scratchers out there, like pretty much everyone has their own little taking out. Top of the head would be like there's Chris Carnes, Vajra. There's my crew, of course, Mixmaster Mike, Shortcut D Styles.
Yeah.
You got the Beat Junkies, you know, Babu, Melody. Got I think in Europe there's all these guys. There's Netik, there's Rafik. Who else is there? Gosh, so many. Man, I'm drawing a blank. There's the Scratch Perverts out there. There's these guys in Japan, Koji, Miyajima, Ken One. You know, New York got the Executioners.
Yeah.
I'm really more into, like, I guess, scratching and DJ because it's such a weird bit that it's like, you know, it's new and stuff.
And it's probably fun. It's fun to kind of watch it. You're living as it evolves, and you can kind of live through that and watch it evolve, huh?
Yeah. It's really fascinating to me. Gosh, you know, and the list goes on. There's just a gang of people out there.
Yeah.
Every city has, you know, Craze, A-Track.
Right.
It's a long list.
Let's see. So this is from Z Sonic again. One of your Scratch commandments is to stay fit so you have a clear mind for cosmic inspiration. What's your fitness and nutrition regimen?
I have a girlfriend that is a health coach. So she watches me and kind of feeds me like organic food and stuff. And I'm always drinking spring water to clear the mind. And, you know, I like to get a lot of rest, you know, 8 hours a day. You know, like as soon as I wake up, I think your tummy is the flattest when you wake up. So you do your sit-ups right there. So I'm trying to do 100. I'm trying to move that up to like 200 to 300 sit-ups a day.
Nice.
Do my bike, my cardio. I'll have to either walk the dog for half an hour straight or get on the bike or swim, you know.
Cool.
You know, so everything, like whatever I'm eating is sustainable, or if it's, I'm mostly vegetarian, but if I have to eat meat, it'll be like grass-fed meat.
Mm.
And there's a scientist that talks about how the atoms molecules change when you bless the water. So, you know, we're pretty much 70–80% water. So, you know, you got to bless your food. You know, I guess that's where the whole thing comes from. When you bless the food, you know, you put that cosmic energy in there, and it turns into you know, positive atoms, like the scientist I was saying, Dr. Emoto is his name. And you can see the water's like a computer. Like, so when whatever intention you put in, if you put a microscope to the molecules, they'll turn into like these little snowflake geometric patterns. If you put like positive intentions in them, and if you put negative intentions in them, they'll break apart and look, you know.
Oh, wow.
That's so cool. But it's science. It's not spiritual stuff. So it's kind of like science and spirituality mixed right there. It's really dope.
That's fascinating. Let's see. Just working my way down this list. We got a lot of these on. What country, as far as Scratch talent, what country has surprised you the most as you kind of make your way around the world?
So you're waking up there a little bit.
Okay, so let me try again. What country, as far as Scratch talent, has surprised you the most as you've kind of toured around and meet students and meet fellow DJs?
I'd say, you know, every country, like I said earlier, every country has some nuts guys. Italy, France, Spain got some nuts guys. Hawaii too. I used to live out there in Hawaii, and there's some guys. DJ Paco, he kills it out there. China, I was just in China, and there's some crazy dudes out there. DJ Woody and his homies out there. They got some crazy guys out there. There's always these, you know, like in every big city, they have like these pinnacle DJs out there that are ill and stuff, and we just hunt those guys down, kick it with them, scratch at their house.
That's cool. I think I remember a few years ago, didn't you go to India for some big event?
Yeah. And
and there was some crazy talent out there, right?
I think they're more actual real life tabla players out there, and so I don't know, we might not be as advanced as them. So, but
yeah.
I did a little tabla scratch for them, and then they were looking at me like, no, those rhythms are too old. Those are too simple. So
So some people say that the Skratch sound is played out and DJs shouldn't use it anymore. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I agree. It's so like easy to use. It's almost like a cheating scratch. Like it sounds good if you use it. But you know, then there's another side to it where if you're really skilled, you could flip it as well, and that goes with other sounds too. You know, it's like some are hard to use, some are easy to use. I think drumming scratch sounds, little small ones, like little syllables in the words. That's kind of like pretty much the hardest stuff to use. Then again, someone will say that's cheating too, because it has it's kind of easy when you figure out a couple techniques with that. It becomes simple too. And I don't know. There's different varieties of thought behind everything. There's like a yes and no to everything.
Yeah, and lots of opinion in music too. It's not like an objective thing, you know. So it's kind of what keeps it interesting. You know, there's no hard rules about yes or no on anything.
But you know, to the nerd scratch DJs like myself, I'll look for like, yeah, I would like to see a person flip the little sounds too, because that is a little more difficult. In a way.
So another one from DJ Sub Herb. Have any of your students blown you away with their video submissions?
Yeah, like 90%. I'm like, everybody check this out. Look at this guy. You know, a lot of the valedictorian guys are just, you know, out of control. Speaking of valedictorian, we're gonna do that this coming month. So
cool.
It's my October is my birthday, so I'm gonna get more involved in the school this whole month.
You and I have the same birthday. Do you know that?
That's cool, man. Right, I remember now. That's right.
You and I and Tom York from Radiohead, which is one of my favorite bands. The three of us are all October 7th.
Tom York, Flying Lotus.
Oh yeah.
Cool Keith.
Wow, I didn't
DJ Keith, yourself, man, and me. That's a lot of October 7th.
That's a cool little crew of us, huh?
Yeah, that's really interesting. We should all have a party.
Let's do it. So when making Wave Twisters, the audio, did you have the idea that it would be animated, or did that come later?
I had the idea of when I was making the album. I was like, damn, what can be really like dope? We're always looking for like something that's like special and different for every project, and that one was to be every chapter would be a movie. Every song would be a chapter in the movie, and the whole movie would be animated graffiti. Like we would look at the walls and all the graffiti artists out here, and we're like, damn, how come none of this stuff is in cartoons? You know, this is like better than cartoons.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Are you Are you gonna animate your recent album?
Yeah, I have 2 albums coming out. One is with have you heard of the Os Gemios twins, the graffiti artists? There's an album of that coming out, and there's also another one, Wave Twisters 2, because everyone keeps asking about that. So both of those are in the works right now, heavily. Nice.
What are the names of the twins? Sorry, say that again.
Os Gemios, OSGEMEOS, Os Gemios, and they're very popular. Like you look at their Instagram, like 1 billion followers.
Wow.
And they just do art all over the world, and so they did my album cover. So I'm like, God damn, okay.
Are they Bay Area natives, or where are they from?
They're from Brazil.
Oh, okay, cool.
2 twins from Brazil. They look exactly alike. They act exactly alike. It's like one person, really, but just split in 2. Amazing.
With 4 arms to make art with.
Exactly. That's what they say.
Oh, really? Nice. That's nice. So what else is on your radar right now? I know you're always keeping busy, never a dull moment. So you said you have some upcoming shows in Southern California with Dr. Octagon. You have some Pickle stuff coming up, and then 2 new records. You said, right?
Yes.
Cool. Anything? What else should we know?
I mean, there's like the DJ records. We have this Super Seal 5 record, and it has like this giant robot. You put all the 7 records together, and the last piece came out. Is actually going to come out tomorrow. The last piece will be like the shoulder wing. Is coming out. It's called Baby Super Seal 3, and then that'll complete that whole project. And then after that, there's another one, because a lot of DJs were like, how about if you have just samples on both sides of the records? So we were making a new series, and that comes out after this one. And so it's like one whole side is like 100 BPM samples, and the other side is all 133 BPM, or halftime at 66. Yeah. And it's more for thrashing. Like sometimes you just want to throw records around, because some records have beats on them, so you don't want to thrash them because the beats will skip. But if you have a bunch of skipless sounds on both sides, you can just thrash them and be like, yeah, let me scratch them down. Let me try this one now. Let me check out this one. So that's I think that one's called Super Seal 7 Pro Series.
Nice. That's great. I think you got.
There's a big surprise with this one new record. It's called. Should I talk about that yet? Cropped Circles. Okay, never mind. I can't talk about it right now. So it's another cool record. I'll talk about that later.
Hey, whoever just told you that, where were they when you were asking about the Smithsonian?
Right. Right there in a cage with handcuffs.
There you go. Oh, hey, speaking of which, where's Toadman?
Toadman, he's like kind of like I don't know if you guys know, but he's kind of like he's got a couple issues. We love the guy. Got a couple issues though, so we can't like where he's kind of on a retreat right now. Oh,
okay. All right. I just thought I thought he might be like making a little like walk by or sitting in the background saying nothing.
Man, I miss that guy so much, but he's on a retreat, so we send him prayers of
cool.
Healing retreat.
Absolutely. Let's see. So a couple more here that just rolled in, and then we're getting ready to close out. So what was it like making the transition to digital scratching with Traktor and Serato? You're doing more of that now, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's half and half. I'll turn the record over, and it'll be like analog sounds. That's what we're also doing on the Traktor record. Me and Crazy are making the Traktor record right now. So one side is digital control tone, and the other side has analog sounds on it. So that's coming out. I mean, when at first I was like, man, I don't want to do this. Like, it sounds better with analog, and then it did. I mean, it still does. But as time went on, Traktor got really close to it, and I was like, oh damn, this is even double the speed of Serato. So I was like, double the processing speed of Serato. I was like, wow, this is really. Sometimes I can't even tell if I'm on on vinyl or digital. So that's when it was like, okay. So now I got the best of both worlds with these records that are half and half.
Oh, that's cool. That's great. From where you're sitting, what's the future for scratching look like, and where's all this portable stuff going? And do you think the trend will at some point move back to traditional turntables?
It's both. Like if you want to go out, like if I want to go out, I'll go to like if I had to have a show, sometimes I don't want to carry a whole turntable, I'll bring my little portable and practice in the hotel, to get ready for the show. I mean, you can already see the future. It's like you can have little ass turntables with like we're making this mixer now. It's called the Invader. It has a computer in it, right? Because you know how we have a laptop and a mixer, so now we put it all together in one. So same thing with portable. We'll have a portable, have a computer in it.
Wow.
And as time goes on, sometimes you won't even, when it gets super advanced, you won't even need a needle anymore. What's a needle for? It's only track the sounds on there. But as time goes on, it'll be so accurate that why would you need a needle for? And then there'll be a lot more techniques where you're because the needle's in the way. So you're only on the left side of the record, really. But if that needle wasn't there in the future, like let's say on a different planet where they don't have needles, you go all the way around the record. They got all these weird techniques where you're just swirling all around the record. That's like untapped too. And so
yeah. So
because we think like that, we're practicing like with different techniques all around the record already. I'll show you a little something. Check this out. So this, let's see. So this needle's here, right? So we pretty much don't go past there, right? But imagine if, so they'd be doing all kind of weird stuff like that. That's part of the future.
What's your role in the innovation of all that? I mean, I know you've been at the Thud Rumble has been making everything from all sorts of accessories and your own kind of turntables and all this stuff. So what's your role in kind of like pushing the instrument forward and the kind of the new technology?
I mean, there's a lot of things I'm doing to in my own way to move it forward. You know, I'm like making all this music, which is one thing, and there's all these different techniques within every song. There's also different experimental ways of making music with turntables in that whole world of just composing. Then you got the technical side. We hang out with this guy, DJ Hardrich, and he's developing that mixer with the turntable. I'm sorry, the mixer with the computer in it. So those are like ideas we have, and it's like, okay, we're gonna need a developer to make this. So him, me, and Yoga Frog and Hardrich. It's weird that Yoga Frog's name is Richie. I'm Rich, and he's Rich too. So it's three Riches. So I don't know if that's a cosmic alignment or what, but that's what we're doing there. There's also, you know, the sound effects section. You know, there's this Dirt Style Records thing with all the sound effects on it, and you know, beats and tools for DJs. That's another aspect of it. I mean, it just goes on and on. So all three of those worlds, you know, actually there's more. There's like, you know, performing with bands and performing with rap groups and scratching on other people's music. I mean, there's 4 worlds right there. You know, and within every of those 4 worlds, those all can advance in various, you know, gazillion ways.
That's really cool that you've, you know, have the opportunity and
there's a school here.
And there's us. Yeah.
5.
It's really cool that not only do you have the opportunity, but that you're pursuing it to be a part of the evolution of your instrument and the just the innovation and the technology of it all. I mean, when you look back at some of the great guitar players like Jimi Hendrix or something, like, yeah, he was an incredible guitar player and he revolutionized the way people play it, but he didn't change, like, he wasn't inventing his own guitars and changing the way the guitar was shaped and the way it felt. And, you know, and it's like you've been doing a lot of, you and Thud Rebel have been doing a lot of stuff in that world as well, and all these different ways.
Upside down, though.
What's that?
You did play the guitar upside down.
Yeah, well, out of necessity. So, yeah, but anyhow.
There's other ways you could do it, too.
Yeah, so you just not have to, you got to do the turntable upside down now.
Yeah, I mean, it is sideways. And like I was saying before, one day it won't need a needle when it gets super intense, but, you know. So,
since you mentioned the valedictorian stuff, people are asking, what do you want to see in the valedictorian submissions? Have you decided yet?
You know, originality and just kill it. You know, that's pretty much it. You know, if I was, you know, like there's b-boys out there. I used to study a lot of breakdancing, and there's a lot of guys that do power moves, and then there's guys that do like footwork. And it's just straight up, all you want to see is tennis shoes flying everywhere. You know, sometimes I just want to hear scratch rhymes everywhere. You know, I just want to hear a bunch of ill techniques and flows and being an MC when you're scratching, being a lyricist.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, when you're scatting and you're scratching and it's combined with what you're saying and it's coming out through your hands, you know, that's what I want to see. Like just you know,
cool.
New things, new techniques, new flows. Just make your, you know, spirit come out. You know, everyone has a beautiful gift to be unique. So just use that when you flow.
Right. That's great. Okay, so let's see here. I guess, you know, let's just wrap this up. We had some great questions here. Thank you so much for all the kind of knowledge you brought to the conversation today. It's always nice to catch up with you and talk music and art, innovation, spirituality, all that stuff. So thanks for taking the time. And
what do you think about all this?
About the school, about music, about everything?
Yeah, like all the scratching stuff. Do you scratch too, or what?
Nah, I mean, I've been a digger. I've been a vinyl collector for almost my whole life, and I had a turntable ever since I was a kid, and obviously I was always interested about the noises that you could invent and create. And I'm a musician and a producer, but I love what's going on. I love hip hop. I love what's going on in turntablism, man.
Well, what do you play? Drums, guitar?
Guitar, and I can fake it on a lot of instruments. I can fake it on piano, and if you didn't know any better, you'd be like, "Whoa, he can play piano pretty good," you know? Or
wow.
But yeah, my main instrument is guitar, and then also just I use production as pretty much a main instrument too. Just kind of like composing and layering and blending layers and different mic techniques on drums or whatever, you know, just to try to create something that, you know, sounds unique to me.
What are some guitarists that you look up to that I gotta check out? Like, what do you think about Django Reinhardt?
Oh yeah, I mean the Gypsy Jazz stuff is amazing. That guy's incredible. I wish I knew. I mean, I have like maybe. I wish I knew his catalog a little more. I feel like modern music, even like rock stuff, if that even really exists that much anymore, it's kind of gone away from the guitar. Like it's still guitar heavy and like riffs and stuff, but there's not like these shredding guitar solos anymore. It's more of like just an extra layer, you know, to add to. It stays like just real melodic. You know what I mean?
How do you feel?
What's that?
How do you feel about that? Would you rather listen to some crazy guitar solos, or do you kind of like how it's going now?
I like where it's headed. I mean, it's just, it got to the point. I like the evolution of things. I think it'll all come back, and then it'll drift away again, and then it'll come back. I think it's like it just got to the point where maybe it was just a little cliche when like every single rock song has to have that like shredding solo right after the right after the second chorus. You know, it became a little predictable. So to take that away, that element away from a rock band, and then be like, all right, go write some songs. Like they have to get a little more creative to like what's going to fill that space. You know.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's an exciting time. I mean, it's just music as a whole. I mean, I think people are still kind of recovering and trying to figure out what music is right now, as far as like record sales, record companies, streaming, you know, how to make money, how to tour. Do I even need a record label anymore, or do I do this you know, or do I start my own, or do I do some indie thing? I mean, we have the power of the internet now, and it's exciting to see where it's all going. You know? Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, I see a lot of people are still confused about making money and stuff. That's
yeah. It can be fun. You can also get it can take you away from the music though, because you're like, oh, I can promote myself now. I have Facebook and Instagram and all this stuff, but it's a lot of work to learn all that. And then all of a sudden you realize like, well, I've been spending all my time learning all this, and I haven't picked up my instrument in a few days, you know? So.
Yes. And then you got guys that are pretty smart out there that really do the thing, and they just put it on YouTube, and if it's shocking, it's like, oh, check this guy out, you know? Yeah. Sometimes it's a shock factor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Become worldwide recognized.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I'm a big fan though. Definitely, and I'm a big fan of a lot of the stuff that's going on in hip hop these days. And Gaslamp Killer.
It's my dog.
Yeah, he's doing some just awesome stuff. You know.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing. Yeah.
Pretty out there. It's great.
Love it.
So anyhow, well, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it, and thanks. One big thanks to all the students for taking the time to watch the conversation and participate. The winner today is Z Sonic. If you want to, we'll contact you. Customer service will contact you, and we'll give you some extra time tacked on to your current subscription, just for all your participation and the great questions you sent in. Anyhow, thanks again, DJ Qbert, everybody, and we'll see you next month.